Then Charlotte was like, well, no, I think y'all need to fight him because obviously he playing both of y'all. And Liv was like, playing?
Drake? Drake?
Back up on the move, touchdown in my hometown, got nothing to lose. I am on my own now, I am in control now. I need you to go now, I can fix my own crown. Back up on my move.
Hey y'all, it's TheBreeze and you're plugged into TheBreeze lifestyle. If this not your first time here, you already know we locked in, friend. Either way, thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you want to support your girl some more, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to see more of me, then follow me on Instagram, TikTok at TheBreeze Lifestyle 777. Now, y'all, I say that every time because you never know who is going to watch the video, or not really who, but you never know when people are going to watch your videos. I wasn't really consistent on TikTok, but baby, your friend is on TikTok for real. I'm doing a 30-day challenge, so definitely go over there, check it out, see the content. It's going to be different content on each platform, so definitely stay locked in, friend. Now, one of my friends, please put when we actually start the story time, because I want to talk to my friends again just for a little second because, yeah, I know I said I was going to go hard this month. The month dang near over. It felt like, I know it's only like the 6th right now, but still like, no, it's not the 6th. It's like the 10th. I don't know. Time is just going by so fast. Y'all know I just went to Thailand, Bali, and Cali in the span of 5 weeks. So I am getting back on track. If you could tell, I changed up the scenery a little bit. I'm cleaning my media room, gotta clean my room, decorate my bathroom, and just get myself back on schedule. But I said I'm coming through with a video for you. And this one is crazy. So just to let you know in advance, friend, it's gonna be a part 1 and a part 2. Okay, that's it. Just part 1 and part 2 because it's too much to just put in like one part. So let's go ahead and get into it, y'all. Now, I will say this too. So while I was in Bali, I got a message from somebody who is on my story times, and they found my video or whatever. So anyway, I just say all that to say I'm doing a little better to hide the characters in my story. So I'm not going to really go in detail of what job I'm working at, because this is about some of my coworkers. And this really ain't my business. I just happened to be there when the business was businessing, and it was open. It was open. So I didn't know what to do but to go in. I was already there. So anyway, so I'm just like certain things I'm going to try to figure out how to explain it to you so it makes sense in the story, but not give too much information because it's some tea, friend. But let's go ahead and get into it. So I did already think of the names and I wrote them down because we're using the Rugrats. It's more story times I have about this job and these coworkers, but for this story time, yeah, okay. So Rugrats is going to be the theme of the story. So, okay, let's get started. Now, let's just kind of backtrack a little bit so I can set the scene for you. While I was, at least I'm going to tell you, I was in Atlanta at this time when I was working at this job. So for me, like working in Delaware, I was just very in office, call center type security, but not the security you probably think of. Like if I'm working security, I'm in a law firm. Like, you know, just somewhere that's not like at the mall where I'm really worrying about people stealing or nothing like that. So I'm just used to just sitting on my booty and getting paid basically. So, okay. So I come to Atlanta, I quit my job, and I'm just thinking like life is about the life for me in the best way. And life was life, and it was crazy, friend. If you are new here, please go to my playlist Story Times and I'll tell you more about my experience. But just for the sake of this video, just want to give you a little bit of the timeline, right? So I got back on my feet, like after being, I don't want to say being boozled, but I just thought that life in Atlanta was going to be one thing. And I would say I got caught up a little bit. I did. And things just wasn't going the way that I thought they was going to go. But once I got through that phase in my life and I met a couple people, you know, perspectives change, like, you know, whatever. So I'm getting back on my grind, right? And I'm doing things that I don't want to say, like, for lack of better terms, no, I don't want to say the word. I was going to say beneath, but nothing is truly beneath you. But if I was in Delaware, I would not be doing these type of jobs that I was doing in Atlanta. So I would say the jobs that I was getting, I was humbled by them. Because not that I think I'm better than the people who work those jobs, but I just never seen myself like really working those jobs, because in Delaware, I can get a call center job at the bank anywhere. Like, that's kind of like a common job. So I never see myself doing stuff such as, we just gonna say, cleaning toilets, or, wiping people's butt, or like, washing dishes. Like, I never see myself actually having to do that. So coming to Atlanta, it really humbled me. It really humbled your girl, because I went from having a lot of money, a great credit score, to having no money, ain't even got a bank account, to working regular jobs I never thought I would be at, to kind of getting back into the call center and about to be popping off with the businesses, period. I'm claiming it in the name of Jesus. But yeah, so that's just where I was at in my life. Now I'm getting jobs that's more like hands-on, like I'm really working for my services. So, or I'm really working for my check or whatever. So, all right, cool. So I go to this job, and this is like the second hands-on job, or I don't want to tell you the order. It might be the second. It wasn't the first. Let's just say that. It wasn't the first hands-on job that I had in Atlanta. So I was just excited about it. It was different though. It was hands-on, but it was different, and I never did it before, and it came with certain benefits, and it was just like, okay, this is cool for me. I'm like, oh, I'm excited, So, I feel like no matter what the job is, I be feeling like the first day of school a little bit. Not that I'm worried about my outfit or nothing like that, but like just the feeling of not really being able to sleep the night before, and just, just being excited about the day. So that's just how I was. I was excited. And we had uniforms that we had to wear. I didn't have the uniform yet, but they just told us the color. So, I just got some black pants on and a black shirt. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I get cute. I do my little bun. I'm like, for me, if you knew me back then, and still if you know me now, I'm known for the bun. Like, I always wear a bun. So, okay, so I put my little bun, do my little baby hairs, and I'm ready to go. So I go. Now, keep in mind, because this is important, this job that I worked at, it didn't have a real parking lot. So Atlanta, we got Metro. I never had not to say the pleasure, but I never really had to use the Metro, because I always had a car out here. And if I didn't have a car, my mama had a car. So it was like I never really had to use that means of transportation. And I never actually been in the city. But to work in this job, it was in the city or whatever. So they didn't have a parking lot. They told us that we could park in this parking garage, and then we could take the Metro to our job. So some people took the Metro from wherever they lived to the job because they didn't have a car or they didn't want to deal with parking. And some people only took the Metro one stop to get to the parking lot. And that was me. So I parked my car. Now, mind you, I got to be on time. So this is making me be extra early. And this building, how can I say it? Okay, so it's a big building. But as far as what we work, it's a section. So let's say, I don't know how to explain it, but let's just say it's a big building, but we only got the right section. Like me and my coworkers, all we do is right here, but it's inside of a big building. And to get into the big building, we got to start all the way over here and get all the way to the right corner. So it's like, in order to get to work on time, you gotta really be there. And they had punch cards, like they had the real deal. So I was like, I'm not playing about this job. One thing I did do, like, even though I felt like, okay, the money wasn't really there for me, I know this is a low entry job or whatever, but I still do my best. Like, I don't go over, I'm not gonna lie, like, I don't go over and beyond on no 9 to 5. I do my job, I do it well, so nobody has to speak to me, but I don't dedicate my life to it, because as soon as I finish my work and I do what I gotta do, I edit my videos. I be trying to figure out what's my next story time gonna be. Like, I definitely be focused on this business that I'm creating and putting more of my blood, sweat, and tears into this before I would do any other business, right? But at the same time, you are paying me, so I am going to do what I came to do. And then I always peep the scene. I start doing, what is told of me of management. And then I see what everybody else is doing, and I do a little bit more than them. Because if we just going based off of what's going on around here, I'm not about to be the only one busting my butt and everybody else cruising and not getting talked to. Like, I don't work like that. I do not work like that, like, at all. I I can't say I never have, because I feel like in Delaware I was more career driven in that way. I didn't really have a business idea or nothing like that. But Atlanta, yeah, I don't let them play like with me like that, because no, at the end of the day, a job will cut you loose. If you pass away, they got your job posting up tomorrow or the same day. So I'm not about to like, no. I'm gonna do what I can to do. I'm gonna get the job done. Like right now, I talk to people every day. So I'm not about to be like, oh, this job is beneath me. I just can't wait to get my own business. I'm not doing nothing. No. Hi, how can I help you? Okay, finished. All right, bye. I do my job, period. But I'm not trying to be no teacher's pet. I'm not trying to advance. I'm just doing my job, getting my check, and I'm supporting my business, period. But anyway, so I go into the job, I get off the train, I get to where I need to be, and I'm just nervous and excited because for me, when I meet new people, it's just like, y'all, why? Y'all, I gotta get my life together because I am beyond irritated. I sat here and told this whole story, got up, was proud of myself, looked at my phone, and it said, no more storage. I said, oh no, my phone wouldn't do me like this. Let me see. Maybe it just didn't get the whole thing, but y'all, what y'all just saw is everything that it got. 10 minutes out of an hour video. So y'all don't get no lip combo. Y'all don't get no mascara. Y'all don't get no extra bagels. No nothing. It's the next day. And we about to get straight to it, period. Since my storage wanted to stop on me and you only wanted me to give you the set the scene, I'll tell you what, storage, you better not play today, okay? I done airdrop a lot of things, deleted things, so let's go ahead and get into it. So as I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, I was really excited about this job. So I got on the train, did all my thing, got there, boom. So the first person I meet is Angelica. So I want to give everybody a little description. Since I'm being extra to not like get caught talking about these people, I at least want to give you a little of what they look like, you know? But anyway, so Angelica was like, kind of like a suburban nerdy type of, she wasn't a nerd, but like, you could tell she couldn't really dress. You could tell like when she got her hair done, it was okay, but it just, you know, those people who kind of try, but kind of don't really hit the mark. She was giving that. She was a little big. She was a little big, but she wasn't like ugly. You know, she wasn't ugly or anything, and she was pretty cool. So she was the lead, and then I met Dee Dee. Now, Dee Dee. Okay, Dee Dee. Oh, Angelica was probably in her late 20s, early 30s. I don't know nobody's age. I'm just going based off of our conversations and what they look like. But Dee Dee was in like her late 50s, late 60s, and baby girl, she had it going on. Like, I love when a black, they both black, but I love when a black woman, she just gives gray stallion, sugar mama, like, not sugar mama, but you get what I'm saying? Like, she was older, but she just gave like fine wine. Like, she was dressed really nice. Not dressed really nice, but like how she put her little outfit together, and you could tell she was trying to show her little shape without trying to do too much. Like, she looked nice because we had to wear pants with a shirt, and the shirt was a little big. So the way that she did it was she would like tuck her shirt in and have it hang. I said, oh, look at your granddaughter teaching you some moves. But no, she looked nice. Not like she was trying to be young, but she was like goals for when I get in my 50s and 60s. So anyway, I met Angelica when I first walked in. She introduced herself, and then she went to get Dee Dee. So Dee Dee, I'm talking to her. She just kind of going over what we're going to be doing, letting me know for the first week I'm going to basically be shadowing Angelica. So let me just kind of give you this so you kind of understand how our job works a little bit. So let's say it's 15 of us. Some areas only need one person. Some areas need two people. So for the most part right now, me and Angelica are working the areas that need two people together. Most people work by themselves, but right now I'm new. I don't know what's going on, so I'm working with Angelica. Cool. So I'm talking whatever. How our shift starts is it's a group before us who can clock out. I think they can clock out 5 minutes early, because it wouldn't make sense they had to clock out. basically they was there when we got there. So they was already there, and then we will wait for the rest of the crew to come in. They clock out, we clock in, and then we have like a team meeting or whatever. So we do all that. We have our team meeting. Dee Dee is like, we have somebody new on board. Her name is TheBreeze, and I think she's gonna fit right in with y'all. Don't be showing off. Da, 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 da. So when she said don't be showing off, I'm already like, showing off? Like, what these people be doing? Like, you know, some people be saying stuff as a joke, but some people really be meaning that. And a lot of these people, like, they look ghetto. Like, I hate to say it like that, but you could tell, like I said, this is a low entry job. Like, anybody can do it with a high school diploma. So people did look a little ratchet. You know, it was given that, but I'm from the hood, so that didn't bother me at all. But when she said don't be on your best behavior, whatever she said, I was like, okay, what they be doing in here? And it kind of made me feel like, okay, cool, like, I'm gonna be smooth. Like, if this is the type of job that is really like low supervision, like, I'll be cool or whatever. So Dee Dee giving everybody assignments, you know, whatever. Now, what I hear, I'm gonna tell the story. I'm gonna try to do my best to tell the story as it happened, because some things I just didn't know until I heard other people talking about it. Like I said, y'all, this was not my business. I just happened to be in the building, okay? So I heard her say that Leo and Phil called out, so certain people was gonna have to like work on their shifts, or like basically everything got to be covered. So she was just talking about that or whatever. Now, I forgot to mention that this girl named Charlotte, she had walked in. So Charlotte is the homegirl of Angelica. Now, Charlotte, she looked like she was probably in her early 30s, maybe her mid 30s. She was cute. She was cute. Like, you could tell she just was a little different than the crowd. She was accessorizing. She looked good. She had a little makeup on. Not too much, but she had a little makeup on, you could tell. And she was just giving that girl in the building. Like, she was just giving that girl. Come to find out, she had been there for like 10 years. So she had been there longer than Dee Dee and, you know, everybody. And she just felt like she ran it, but she wasn't. As I'm gonna tell y'all the story, y'all tell me if y'all think Charlotte was messy. I don't necessarily think that Charlotte was messy. I just feel like she was cool with everybody, and she was the type of friend that could not just hold her tongue. Like, she not about to just let you look stupid and you around her and she not say nothing. That's how I feel about it. But she was cool though. She was cool, and she was cute. She was a black girl too. She was light skinned, thickums, like, she was cute. Anyway, so when she said Phil and Leo, I just noticed that, like, Charlotte kind of was like, She gave it a little, And I don't know. I'm just thinking she mad because these people probably always call out. It is a Saturday. Oh, did I tell y'all my work schedule? So basically, I worked overnight, and I worked Saturday through Wednesday. So I was off on Thursdays and Fridays. So a lot of times people are going to call out Friday and Saturday because we work overnight. People want to do stuff during the weekend. So I'm not thinking nothing of it. I'm just thinking she mad because these people calling out. So, okay, all of that happens. Me and Angelica on our way. We start doing our work that we need to do. So we just talking whatever. And she just telling me, like, I'm going to tell you everything to do. And it's not that, you know, these are not your sections. Once you do good, you'll probably get the section multiple times, but don't just think that you're about to come in and get a section, because certain people, they wanted certain sections because they was easier than the other ones. So Dee Dee would like switch it up, and Dee Dee didn't play. Like, she was a little petty. So if you called out, she was definitely going to give you the section that she knew that you did not want. But she telling me, like, basically, if you have to go in a section on Saturday and do A through Z, and you get that same section on Sunday, just do A through M, because you know you just did A through Z. Like, basically tell me, like, every single time I do this section, I don't have to do every little thing on there, but make sure it look nice, basically. So I'm like, okay, cool. I love when I walk in a job and the person who's training me is like, because I would do this too. I would cover myself where I tell you everything that is expected of you, but then also give you a little sauce on how we do things here. You know, I'm not just about to give you the sauce and not tell you everything that's expected, so then you come to me like, oh, she didn't train me. Like, no, I'm going to train you on how they tell me to train you, but I'm going to let you know, sis, like, this is how we do things over here. So we doing our thing, you know, everything is cool. And then Charlotte comes in our area. So Charlotte was just like, hey, you know, how you know? She first starts talking to me. So she like, hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. I'm Charlotte, da, da, da. And I was just telling her, oh, you look cute. I'm gonna need to, like, you know, jazz up my little uniform, whatever. She was like, I don't know. Basically, she was saying, like, she don't do it to necessarily look cute. She do it to keep herself together, because this was her only job. She always working overnight. She ain't really doing nothing during the day. So it's like, I gotta make sure that I don't just let myself fall off. And I'm like, wow. Because when I look back at my hands-on jobs, like, I can say, I don't want to say I let myself fall off, but I really just did not care about appearance because of the jobs that I was working. Like I said, I was in the field. Like, I'll say, I was getting dirty. Let's just say that I was getting dirty. So I really did not care. Like, I took a shower before I went to work. I took a shower after work. I was not doing nothing extra. That's how I felt. So when I looked at her, I said, okay, I like that. You know, never did it. Still was looking crazy. Not crazy, but like, I just was not putting no effort into my appearance. And I did work overnight. So all day I'm in the house. Like, I really was not worried about that. But I do like her logical thinking. So anyway, me and her just talking a little bit, you know, whatever. So then she said, okay, hold on real quick. Because I guess, you know, she wasn't expecting to get into I forgot what we were talking about, but she was expected to get into a whole conversation. She strategically talked to me first because she wanted to be polite, but she had some smoke with Angelica. So she was like, hold on real quick. Angelica was like, what? And she was like, oh, so you don't think that's strange? And she was like, here you go. And she was like, yeah, I mean, I'm going to keep on going because you don't seem to get it. This is what Charlotte is telling Angelica. So I'm just kind of watching them because she was just talking to me. So I'm just kind of looking and listening, even though the conversation ain't about me. So she was like, Charlotte was like, yeah, you don't find that strange? And Angelica was like, here you go again. She was like, I'm going to keep on going because this don't make no sense. Like, it's really right in your face. So Angelica was like, until I talk to him and I get the proof, like, I'm not about to stress it. I'm not about to worry about it. Because from my understanding, he's sick. So I don't want to bother him. Like, you know. So she was like, sick?
Yeah, Drake? Drake?
Charlotte, sick? Oh, okay. And that's what he told you? And then that's what she was like, yeah, he told me that earlier today that he was sick. And he probably wouldn't be able to talk to me because he'll be, you know, like resting up, taking medicine, going back to sleep, you know, whatever. She had bought him some chicken noodle soup. And Charlotte was like, yeah, and I brought him some chicken noodle soup. And he did seem like he was a little, you know, he didn't really want to touch me or kiss me or nothing. So I can tell that he was sick. So as I'm listening, I'm not really putting two and two together, but I'm realizing that Charlotte is not with what Angelica is with. Like, she's not trying to hear none of that. So Charlotte was like, girl, is this your first go around? Like, you just was born? Like, what's going on? So Angelica was like, listen, we're going to see. I'm going to see, but right now I'm not about to stress it. I'm not about to go to conclusions. It is what it is. So as they're talking, I realize I'm just like this. I'm literally just sitting here watching their dialogue. Then I kind of snapped out of it like, yo, I literally just met these people a couple hours ago. Let me get out their business. So I go doing what I was doing, and I can still kind of hear them. So let's think of like, the area we in. Let's just say it's like an art room times 2. You know, the art room at school, where even if I'm in the corner, it's nothing, no walls, and it's just a big room. Like, I can hear you. I can't hear you as good as I can hear you when I was right up on you, but I can hear what's going on. So basically, Charlotte is just telling Angelica that she's getting played. Angelica telling her that she just don't know what's going on. She don't know the situation. Blah. So the night goes on. Charlotte continued to do what she was doing. She left or whatever. We continue doing what we doing. You know, that's just kind of how the day went. So as the shift was over, it's like, okay, let's say if our shift was over at 7 o'clock. Around 6:15, we finishing up doing what we need to do. By 6:30, we headed to our destination. Because like I said, it's a big building. And we break up. And then we have to go to where we're going. We have to come back to our meeting spot or whatever. I don't know if it's the lights, but literally my nose never itches until I'm sitting here doing a video. I'm so apologize if I'm cutting it out. It's because my nose is literally itching. I don't know if it's like the lights up on me or what, because I moisturized. But anyway, so we about to head to, we sitting down. We basically got done a little early, so we just sitting down chilling. And then Charlotte comes to where we are, and she was like, okay, so by the time I come in tomorrow, you're going to have some answers? She was like, yes, I'm going to have some answers. She was like, all right, I'll see you then. I guess I never knew because I never really seen Charlotte when it was time to clock out. So I don't know if Charlotte got a ride. I don't know if Charlotte left later. I don't know if she left early. I don't know. I never really seen Charlotte when the shift was over. So shift's over, you know, we do our thing. Angelica actually catches the train as well. She just comes to work earlier than I do. So we clock out, we go catch the train. Mind you, we catch the same train. I just get off at the first stop. So we get on the train, we walk to the train together, we get on the train, you know, I go about my day, Angelica go about her day. All right, so that's my first day of work. It was cool, a little messy, not that messy, just a little sprinkle of something that I don't really know what's going on, but I could tell like something is going on. So next day, everybody's there, meaning Phil and Leo is there. So I'm looking at them now. Leo, I'm gonna bring some more characters in real quick. Leo and her cousin, Susie. Because I didn't see Susie the first day. I don't know if she was there or not, or maybe that just wasn't a day that she worked because they didn't announce that she had called off. But I didn't see her on the first day. So now I see Leo and Susie. Now, Leo and Susie, they both look the same. They cousins. They look the same in the sense of they skinny, they little, and they ratchet. Like, you can smell the ratchet on them. Like, they just ratchet girls. And they not ugly, but they not really cute either, if that makes sense. Like, you know how, I probably say this in a lot of my videos, but you know how some people just really don't look like nothing. Like, they don't like be like, oh, he ugly, but you also don't look at him and be like, oh, he cute. Like, they just kind of somewhere in the middle. So that's what Leo and Susie was looking like. And Phil kind of gave the same vibe. Like, he wasn't ugly, but he wasn't cute. And you could tell by his sneakers that he really didn't know how to dress. But I don't know, because again, this is not a place where you're supposed to be fly. So maybe he was fly outside, but it just didn't give that he was fly outside, you know, whatever. So cool. So everybody's there. We do our little meeting or whatever. And now I'm with Angelica again. So just so happened that Charlotte is walking with me and Angelica to our first little area. And she was like, okay, so what happened? And she was like, I don't know. I haven't talked to him yet. This is what Angelica's saying. So I'm just like, okay, still not knowing who they're talking about, right? She was like, so Charlotte was like, you better figure this out because you better figure this out. You know that friend. Okay, and I don't know, because I don't want a friend like this, you know, but I feel like Charlotte was that friend who... I don't know if it's messy or not, but Charlotte's that friend, like, say if she cool with me and you tell her stuff, but she don't tell me that you've been talking about me, and I tell her stuff, and she don't tell you that I've been talking about her. I don't think that's messy, but where's your loyalty? Like, you know, I don't want a friend like that because I do want to vent to you, and I do want you to tell me what people say about me. So, I don't know, maybe I'm messy. I don't know, but... That's what Charlotte was giving. Like, I felt like she was cool with everybody, but she didn't really tell everybody what everybody was saying about each other, if that makes sense. So she was just like, all right, you better figure it out because, And Angelica was like, girl, whatever. So we get on about our day. We start doing our little assignment, you know, whatever. So next thing you know, Phil walks in. Now, mind you, the way that our areas are, the only reason that you will meet somebody in an area is if you want to. I might pass somebody's area, but I don't have to go searching for them to see where they at so I can say hi to them. Like, no, I can definitely just pass it and keep doing what I'm doing, right? Oh my gosh, what is going on? Anyway, sorry, y'all. So Phil walks in and he don't say nothing to me. He goes straight for Angelica. So he go over there, and I can't exactly hear what he said, but I heard Angelica like, you crazy, And he was like, what are you talking about? Oh, you showing off. I heard him say, oh, you showing off because we got company, you showing off. He was like, hi, how you doing? And I just, like, it's only us three in the room, so I don't want to make it seem like I'm listening to everything that they're saying, but he did raise his voice a little bit, and I know it's only us, so I turn around, I'm like, hey, you know, how you doing? He was like, oh, my name's Phil, what's your name? I ain't seen you before, and I was like, oh, my name's Breeze, and I just started yesterday. And he was like, oh, okay, I see you training, you big dog now, da-da-da, talking to Angelica. So Angelica was like, boy, whatever, you know, where was you at last night? Da, da, da. So I heard her ask him, where was you at last night? And he was like, I was home, knocked out. You already know. Thank you so much for that soup. Like, it really helped me out. I feel a lot better today. So I just goes back to minding my business because he's not talking to me no more. I only turned around because you included me into the conversation. So I'm still listening. I'm like, oh, so this is who that Charlotte was talking about. Come to find out, Angelica and Leo go together real bad. I mean, no, sorry. Angelica and Phil go together real bad. And Phil and Leo both called out together. And there has been some talk around town that Phil and Leo go together. So that's why Charlotte is pissed off, because it's like, first of all, you are trying to be a manager. You're a lead. And it's like, or assistant manager, whatever you want to call it, and you're letting this little boy play in your face. Like, and everybody knows it. Obviously, I'm new here, so I don't really know what's going on. So I'm just listening to him, and he was like, yeah, that soup was so good. I thank you so much. You're the best girlfriend ever. Like, da-da-da. So she kind of eating it up, but she's spitting it out at the same time. Like, she just like, whatever. Like, she not really feeling everything he's talking about. And she was like, you better go ahead and do your assignment before Didi come and check on it. Because Didi would sometimes check on assignments random. Like, you know, so if you think that you about to just play around all night and then come back and hurry up and do the work, like, no, randomly she might just pull up and see what you're doing. So he was like, oh, it's like that, it's like that. She was like, yeah, I'm just trying to do my work. So yeah, I'll catch you later. So he left or whatever. So time goes by, we go to our lunch or whatever. It's just me and her, and we just in this little area. And when we do lunch, I kind of like, I go with her to whatever area she go to, but I kind of like just be doing my own thing. I have my little, I was talking to somebody at the time, so I would talk to them like at nighttime, whatever. So cool. So at the end of our lunch, it's like we got 10 minutes left. Charlotte come in. So Charlotte like, what's the, well, we wasn't saying what's tea back then, but it's like, you know, what's going on? What's the sauce? Like, what's going on or whatever. So she was like, Angelica was like, I don't know. I think he was really sick. I really think he was sick. And Charlotte was like, why you think that? Like, why do you think that he was really sick? So she just going on telling her that he came and found her and was thanking her and this and that. And Charlotte just like, I don't know. That just is fishy. It just seemed fishy. It's fishy. So I'm like, minding my business, because that's what I do at this job. I mind my business and I get paid. I do my job, period. So Charlotte just telling her it's fishy. She just don't believe it. And, you know, she just goes on by her day. She leave, we finish our shift. So it's the end of the day. We're done everything. We got done everything around like 5:30. I remember we had like an hour left before we had to head to the room or whatever. So it's about 5:45, 6 o'clock, and Phil comes in our area. And it's like, I feel like she was texting him, like they was texting each other, and she was letting him know where we was. Y'all, if it's not my nose, it's my storage. I don't understand. My nose literally was not even feeling type of way, and now I just cannot stop scratching it, so I'm not digging up my nose. My nose itch. But anyway, so Phil comes in and he don't say nothing to me because obviously he already spoke to me earlier, and he just over there and I can't hear anything that they saying, but the way that I'm looking, like I'm already sitting down because we just chilling. The TV, let's say, how can I explain it? Okay, so the TV is right here. Old girl was sitting right here and I was sitting back here. So when he came in and he's over there with her, like I can't hear what they saying because he all up in her face and whispering, but I can't help but look. Because this looked different than it did earlier. Like, you know, I feel like she really believed him. He got his girl back, period. So they just boo loving or whatever a little bit. And next thing you know, they disappear. So I'm like, oh, this must be what they usually do. Like, I don't know what's going on. That's not my child. I'm not worried about them. I'm minding my business. But then it gets to be like at 6:15 is when we start to slowly walk to where we're going. But we can get there in like 10 minutes. So we don't want like to be there too early. So 6:15 comes, 6:15 goes, and now it's 6:30, and I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go. So I still did not see them. I know it's only one way in, one way out, so they got to be somewhere around here. I was like, Angelica, I'm about to head out. I'll see you out there. She was like, okay, I'll see you out there. The way she said, I can't tell you that they was humping or anything, but the way that she said it, like she sounded like she was a little out of breath. So maybe they was kissing or maybe they was doing something else. I don't know. But she was just like, okay, I'll see you in there. Now, I don't know her normal pattern because it's my only second day working with the girl, so I don't know. But I just thought we were going to walk together, but it is what it is. So I walked to my little tail where we were supposed to go. And, you know, whatever. She finally comes into the room. I'm about to clock out or whatever. She was like, are you, you still on most of the train station together? So I'm like, okay, cool. Because it's not a long walk, but why not walk with her to the train station? It's early in the morning. So we clock out. We walk to the train station or whatever. And she was just like, I'm so sorry for leaving you or whatever. I'm like, girl, you good. She was like, yeah, I know, but I just didn't know it was going to take that long. I'm so sorry, whatever. I'm like, girl, that's your man. Like, it's cool. And she's like, how you know that's my man? I said, because I could tell. Like, I could just tell with the dynamic that was your man. She was like, oh, yeah, we just been going through a little something, but yeah, that's my man. That's my man. I said, okay. And she was just asking, like, I don't tell nobody. I'm like, girl, you're good. Like, I'm not about to tell nobody. It's cool. Now, when she said tell nobody, in my mind, I'm like, who would I tell? Dee or Charlotte? Who are you more worried about, your boss or your friend that's on your ass about this ninja? I don't know. But either way, the moral of my story today is mind your business. If it ain't your business, keep it pushing. You can stay and listen to the tea. Don't you dare drink that tea and spill it out. Like, no, just enjoy the show. So, all right, cool. So we go to this train station. Everything is cool. So for the rest of the week, I was working with Angelica, and I'm not 100% sure, but I know for a couple of days I did not see Charlotte. And I think that last day that was our Friday, I feel like that was her day that she came back. And I don't know if her and Angelica was talking, because she did like anyway, she did come to our area every once in a while on that day, but they wasn't talking about Phil or nothing like that. So they probably talked about it already. So boom, next week comes around. At this point, I done worked a whole week with Angelica. Now Angelica is relieved of her duty. She can do what she wants, but they still don't necessarily want me to work by myself. So, and sometimes on that week, I was working in a 2-man, like where you needed 2 people to do an area, but sometimes I was just tagging along with somebody who was doing a section, like a 1-person section. So my first day back was a Saturday, and I was working with Charlotte. Let's just say Charlotte area was a 1-person area. So she was happy that I was working with her, because she like, we about to chill. Like, we about to chill tonight. We about to knock this out and chill. How she liked to work, she liked to do half of her work, chill for a couple hours, then do the other half, then chill for a couple hours. Especially, like I said, it was a 1-person job and 2 people was doing it, and she seen me working anytime that Angelica was there. So she knew I was there down to do the work. So I'll say hi to Angelica, hi to Dee, hi to Charlotte. Dee give us our assignments. Charlotte. Boom, Phil and Lil was there too. But this time, sometimes we would do things where part of our shift, the whole team had to be in this one area to work it. So, try not to give out too much information. I think that's enough for you to understand. Like, every shift, everybody got an assignment, but sometimes there will be this big assignment that everybody had to work on for a couple hours. So that's what we had on this particular day. How this day was going to be, basically we spent our first 2 hours in our little destination, and then we're going to do 2 hours in our other destination, if it's a group effort, and then the rest of our shift we finish out our assignment. I'm sorry if I've been saying Susie, I do apologize, but on this day that I'm working, I'm actually working with Charlotte, which is Angelica's homegirl. So me and Charlotte go to our area and we just chilling. She like, man, we ain't even really gonna do too much. We just gonna wait till we come back. We just gonna chill it out, whatever. So me and Susie go to our area, we just chilling, whatever, and then Angelica comes. So as soon as Angelica walk in, Susie was like, I don't wanna hear it, So Angelica like, girl, here you go. So I'm just out of the loop, don't know what's going on. I'm still, even though I know that Phil is her boyfriend, I'm still not, like, some of the puzzle is together in my mind, but I have not talked to anybody about it because, what we say, this ain't my business. So she was like, nah, you need to get some answers today because I done heard some stuff. You need to get some answers today. So Angelica was like, what you heard? She was like, nah, I ain't about to tell you, ask your man. So Angelica like, girl, like, I am not worried about none of these girls at this job. Like, he know what's going on with me, da-da-da. So Charlotte was like, apparently not, because what I've been hearing around town is crazy or whatever. So Angelica was like, girl, I just came in to see if you was ready to go to the next area. She was like, we'll be over there. So you like, and Charlotte was, she was basically kind of like little girl in Angelica. That's why I named her Charlotte, because Charlotte is Angelica's mom. But yeah, so she was just like, girl, we'll be there when we get there. Like, go ahead. And don't you got stuff to do? Don't you gotta be there early? You know, whatever. So Angelica was like, whatever, girl. So you could tell it was funny, but Charlotte wasn't really playing. Like, she was serious. She obviously had some information. She was not telling Angelica, but she was trying to get Angelica to get the information and stand on business. Like, I don't know. So it's like, if you my friend, just tell me. If it's something crazy, you don't have to necessarily tell me who said it, and I want you to. But if you don't want to, okay, cool. But tell me what's going on if I'm getting played. Like, you know, but I guess Charlotte just felt like she was tired of this girl being dumb, and it's like, I'm not about to keep just giving you everything. Like, actual man. So anyway, so we stay there for like literally 5 minutes, and then we head to the area. So we go to the area, and it is the people who need a name. I'll say it's me, Angelica, Charlotte, Phil, Leo, Susie, Tommy, and Grandpa Lou. So Tommy always wore black designer shirts to work with Nike socks, polo socks, little Nike slides or something. Like, he gave Wiz Khalifa. Like, he was cool, not even trying to be cool. He don't even dress up here, but he still looked good. He smelled good. Like, you know, he was giving that. He was kind of tall. He was taller than me, but not like, I don't think he was 6 feet. Like, he was just kind of tall, whatever. And he was fine. Like, I won't say he was fine, but he was a good looking dude. Let's just say that. He was a nice looking dude. Teeth was nice, smelled good, shaped up. Like, he was cool. And Grandpa Lou was this old black dude who literally loved me. Like, he loved me. This was my first time meeting him when we met all together. But he loved me, and I don't know if he loved me, liked me, or if he loved me like a granddaughter. I don't know. But he was cool, and he don't really need no description. He was just an old black man or whatever. So cool. So we go in there, and Dee Dee give us all of our assignments. Now, Angelica is a assistant manager, so she don't really have an assignment, but she basically here to be a babysitter. But what I did like about Angelica, like in these moments where she didn't have to do no work, she would do work. Like, she would do a little thing here and there, and then after she was done that, she would ask people like, you need any help, like, you need me to do anything, blah, blah. So she was cool, but she didn't have a specific job to do. So it felt like everything was divided. We was in a room that was kind of big. Imagine being in the gym. You feel me? It's no walls, but it's a bunch of machines or whatever, and everybody got their own thing to do, but everybody know each other. So I would think that everybody would just be talking and da-da-da-da-da, but no, it was just like 2 people together, 1 person by themselves, 2 people together, da-da-da. Like, it was no groups. Everybody was just kind of divided, and I was just like, okay. Then I seen 1 person pull out their headphones, and I said, okay, cool. I'm about to pull out my headphones. I'm about to do my job, and then I'm about to chill. That's how I like to work. I don't want to chill first because I might get too hard in the chill. It's late night. I want to do my work. I want to chill, maybe take a nap, and then be done. But anyway, so I'm doing what I need to do, and I notice Phil. Like, I notice Phil is literally like trying to look busy. Like, he's trying to look like, don't bother me. Like, because mind you, Leo and Angelica is in this room. So he's just like trying to stay away. He wouldn't stay nowhere too long. When he seen somebody come in closer, like, he would go the other way. Like, it was just like he was really trying to avoid everybody, and I just peeped that, and I was like, okay. Now mind you, I got my headphones on, so I don't know what's being said no more. I don't, like, people really wasn't even talking, but I don't really know. All I can see is people being weird, which is Phil. I see him like just, I don't know, because like he really wasn't doing no work. He really wasn't working, but he was trying to make himself look so busy. So anyway, I'm just jamming or whatever. And when I like, after a little bit, depending on what I'm listening to, and I back then was listening to old stuff. Like, when I say old stuff, I mean like 2011 Drake and whatever was popping in that time. Not necessarily the 90s or the early 2000s, but I was still listening to old stuff, like, you know, whatever. So, and I'm sorry if it just looks irritating, y'all, but I'm tired of stopping and my nose is just still itching. This is weird. But anyway, I feel like the enemy trying to attack me. Don't want me to do this video. It's been 2 weeks since I gave y'all a story time. Like, I just can't believe it, but nothing's gonna stop me, period. Anyway, let me get back to it. So yeah, so next thing you know, I'm just jamming. Like, mind you, Fetty Wap was my joint. Like, so I might have been listening to a little Fetty or Future. Fetty Wap and Future, I was locked in with them, like, you know, their old stuff. So I'm just like, like when I'm doing my work, because it's easy peasy work, so it must have been one of my parts, and I'm just like, I just stopped doing my work and I just started doing a little two-step and like dancing or whatever. So, you know, whatever. I'm not doing too much where I'm trying to be noticed, but I'm by myself and I'm jamming. I'm just doing my little Next thing you know, somebody tapped me on my shoulder and it scared me. I was like, oh, and he was like, oh, you ain't gotta be scared, whatever. So I took my headphones on. He was like, nah, you ain't gotta be scared. I wasn't trying to scare you. I just never seen you before. You over here jamming. I was like, oh yeah, like, you know, whatever. So he was like, yeah, you over here jamming, what you listening to? So let's just say I said Fetty Wap. He was like, Fetty Wap?
Drake? Drake?
He was like, Trap Queen? I'm like, no, not Trap Queen, because obviously I wasn't listening to Trap Queen, but I was listening to the album, like the Fetty Wap album, duh. But he was just like, Fetty Wap, like, you know, what the heck? So I'm just like, yeah, what's wrong with Fetty? What's wrong with Fetty Wap? So he just like, I'm just saying, you over here, Jam. I thought you was listening to some NBA Youngboy or something. Da, 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 da. So I'm like, yeah, I gotta check, make sure I'm still recording. But yeah, so I'm like, no, I'm listening to Fetty Wap. So he was like, let me hear it. Now, mind you, I got an ear pod and I'm not about to put it in your ear. So I just took it off of the speaker and I played it or whatever. And I'm not about to lie and say I remember what song it was, but let's just say it was RGF Island. So it's like,
my niggas take me money to suspend it. And when you die, you cannot take it with you. Hey, if you eat beef, if I don't money, then what's the problem? Hey, don't worry about my niggas, cause I got them. Hey.
I just listening to it and I'm still jamming, like, you know. Next thing you know, Grandpa Lou come over and like, what's that garbage? I'm like, not them coming at my musical choices. So he was like, what's that garbage? What's that garbage? I'm like, garbage. And he was like, yeah, that's trash. And then that's when Tommy was like, yeah, Pops don't like nothing. If you ain't doing Ice Cube or Public Enemy, Pops don't like nothing. And he was like, no, I like something more than that. I like it like... But that's trash. Like, that's trash. I'm like, nah, y'all not about to keep coming at my music. Y'all not about to keep coming at my Fetty Wap, period. So I was asking them what they like or whatever. So we just talking, whatever. So I finished doing my job and then Tommy came back over to me because we was talking, but then, like, you know, after like 5-10 minutes, I'm like, all right, let me finish doing what I'm doing. So cool. So Tommy come over there, like, oh, when you start working here, asking me questions, where I'm from, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, oh, you know, and he was like, yeah, I'm mad at it. I wasn't here on your first day. You needed a proper introduction. Da, 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 da. I'm just like, Now I feel like he's trying to talk to me. Like, and I'm not that type of girl who just feel like everybody that's being nice to them is trying to talk to them. I'm not that. But the way that he was coming off, the way he was grinning at me and smiling and just like, you know, I feel like he was being fresh. So I was just like, So then I had to just ask, like, you know, I'm like, are you single? And he started smiling. I'm like, oh yeah, nah, I'm not playing. I'm not about to be Angelica in here. Like, no, I'm not playing them games. He was like, why you ask that? I'm like, no, I'm just asking. So he was like, yeah, I'm single. I'm single. I said, oh, I don't like your answer. I don't like how you just like, when the dude just, yeah, I'm single. It's because you thinking about somebody. You thinking about somebody as you telling me that you single, knowing damn well they don't think y'all single. Like, you know. So I was just like, oh, okay. He was like, you single? And I was just like, yeah, kind of. Because now I'm playing. I like playing with ninjas. I do. So he was like, I was like, yeah, kind of. Mind you, I am single. The person I talked to We just talking for real. But I am single, mentally. But anyway, so it was like, kinda. Let me find out I got some competition, you know, whatever. So we just talking, whatever. So time go on, it's time to go. So now it's time for us to go to lunch. So it's me, Charlotte, Lil, and Susie. So we just all sitting, and we just happen to be sitting at the same table in our little area that we take our lunch in. So I'm just sitting at the table. It's a big table, so we're not all up on each other. I'm a little to the distance, and they all kind of three on each other. So I'm just on my phone, and I'm just, you know, looking through Instagram, you know, whatever. I'm just talking. I mean, I'm just surfing on the web. I don't know. But then I'm hearing them talk about film. So I just like, because I had my headphone on as I was searching, but I pushed pause on the headphone. Mind you, I only got one in and one off or whatever. So, cool. So I pushed pause, and now I'm...
So I creep, yeah, just trying to find out the tease.
So I'm listening, I'm ear hustling. By the time I took out my headphone, Lil was like, he don't want her. He do not want her. She begs him to stay with her. Like, you need to tell your friend, you need to help your friend out because she going out sad. Like, she going out sad. And she was like, yeah, we was just out last week and we going somewhere tomorrow. Like, we not coming into work tomorrow. We got plans. We got things to do. Like, she better come get him if she want him. Like, you know, whatever. So Susie was like, I heard it with my own mouth. He said that they are not together no more. He broke up with her. She was crying and he was scared. Not scared, but he was like, not trying to just let her feel that way, but he loved my cousin and he's not about to just stay with her just because. So are they broken up or whatever? So that's what she's asking Charlotte. So Charlotte was like, no, they're very much still together. I don't know what's going on. So, you know, so I can say that I didn't hear Charlotte tell them anything about Angelica other than, yeah, they definitely still together. Like, she wasn't being messy, like just saying everything or whatever, but she was listening. Okay. So then that's when Susie was like, oh, well, you gonna have to fight for your man. You gonna have to fight for your man. Then talking to Lil. So Lil was like, I'm ready. I'm gonna fight for mine because he don't want her. He don't want her, and I can't help that I'm a young tenderoni and da 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 da. She didn't say tenderoni, but she was basically saying like she's old news and Lil is the new thing in town. So I'm just like, I'm just listening, but I'm just scrolling. So then, this is what I don't like. I guess, I don't know. She didn't know my name, but she could have definitely just asked one of them, hey, do you know what her name is? Whatever. So Susie was like, hey you, what's your name? The hey you just got me, and I was just like, okay. Mind you, she ghetto. Like, I could just tell she's so messy. So I'm just like, oh, my name's Breeze. She was like, oh, Breeze, what side you on? Because I see you with her all the time. I was like, goes into playing dumb. Because I don't know if Charlotte know that I even know that these two go together. But, you know, as I'm going to play dumb, so I can't play dumb no more. Because it's not my business, period. So I was like, what are you talking about? What side I'm on? I said, I just started working here last week. Like, I don't really have a side. She was like, oh, because I be seeing you with Angelica, you know, da, da, da. I'm like, yeah, she trains me. Like, this is my first time not being with her because I knew her. She trains me. She was like, oh, okay, I'm just making sure because you gonna have to pick a side. I'm like, yeah, I'm not on no side. I just come here to work or whatever. And then that's when I said that, and she just went straight to, well, she gonna have to fight for her man. She gonna have to fight if she want him. If she want to keep him, she gonna have to fight for her man. And then after Charlotte didn't say nothing, but after she kept going on and on, she got to fight for her man. Mind you, this is Susie talking. Lil's with it, but Susie is very much the instigator of the whole situation. So what Susie kept saying that. Then Charlotte was like, well, no, I think y'all need to fight him because obviously he playing both of y'all. And Lil was like, playing?
Drake?
Like, I ain't getting played. She getting played. I know everything. She the one that think he was sick. So I'm assuming Charlotte already knew that for sure they had went on a date. You know, so Charlotte already knew that, but she didn't want to tell Angelica, I guess, because the way that Lil said that she are like you could tell this is not new news that she's giving to Charlotte. But when she said that, I tried not to, but I was like, ooh. Like, because I was looking at them, and I was like, ooh. And then that's when Lil started laughing. She was like, even you know, you just got here, you already know who the one getting played. I know you know who getting played. I was just like, I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing. I'm just working. Like, I just laughed the way that you said that, but I don't know nothing. So Lil was like, oh, you don't know? Well, let me tell you, sis ran it all down, okay? So she like, yeah, Phil and Lil was messing with each other, and then I got here, and Phil was on my heels, and I told him I'm not about to be no side chick to no ugly Oompa Loompa, and he was telling me, like, you know, he just be using her for her money. Every time she get paid, she break him off. She buy him this, she buy him that. So I was cool with that for a little bit. Then I'm like, nah, like the way he was in my bed, in between my legs, no. You need to cut her off, and you need to be your own man. You need to So basically, I guess it was a couple weeks ago where he told her that he broke up with Angelica. Angelica was like begging him to be with her, and she was like, no, boom. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. And all I said was, workplace relationships really get messy. That's all I said. Workplace relationships really get messy. And Susie was like, what's messy is you her friend and you ain't trying to tell her nothing. At least Charlotte trying to tell her something. So that's where it did get a little messy, because how do they know that you tried to warn her? I guess, I don't know, y'all. Is that messy if your friend is getting information and you're like, well, I tried to tell her? It's borderline messy, but it's, I don't know. I don't know. And I was just like, you know, I don't really have no friends here. Like, I don't really have no friends here. I just started last week. I'm not about to throw shade on the girl, but at the same time, that's not my friend. Oh, that's your friend? That's your friend? Ain't that your friend? No, that's not my friend. We just met, okay? So, boom. That happens. We get done. So, we leave them or whatever and go back to our area. And that's when Charlotte was like, yeah, this is just getting out of hand. This is just getting too much. I hate being in the middle of it. I'm like, yeah, it's a tough situation. Like, it's a tough situation. And then she started kind of running down more information in regards to, like, she always told Angelica not to mess with Phil, because Phil, basically, I guess Phil was there before Angelica, and Charlotte already knew how he be running through girls. So when Angelica got there, I guess you couldn't tell her nothing when it came to Phil, you know, whatever. She did confirm that Angelica would be giving him money and would be taking him places and would be paying for dates and doing all of that. She confirmed that. So I'm just thinking to myself, like, couldn't be me. But y'all got a whole story time where it was. I got a whole story time where I was taking care of a whole grown ninja. And y'all might not never get that story time because it's embarrassing. It's like, nah, I'll be giving it to y'all one day. But anyway, so I was just like thinking to myself, yeah, that could not be me. Like, she got the game all messed up. So anyway, so she's like, yeah, this is just getting out of hand. She need to really say something, or I'm gonna have to say something, because I'm tired of her telling me one thing and then her telling me one thing and he's not being held accountable, you know, whatever. I'm just like, I'm not really giving out too much input. It's just like, this is crazy. But I'm happy because all the pieces of the puzzle was basically here. I basically know everything that everybody else knows. So I'm like, all right, cool. Like, I'm in the loop. I know what's going on. So now it's the end of the shift. And this time we didn't wait for Angelica to come to us. We went to her. So I guess she must have texted her, asked her where she was at, and we went over there. So, Angelica was like, hey. I was like, hey. And then that's when Charlotte was like, nah, we need to get down to business. Are you going to say something? Because it's just getting out of hand. Like, it's just getting to be too much. She was like, I'm going to say something. I'm going to say something. So she was like, yeah, because it's getting out of hand. I'm tired of being in the middle of it. So Charlotte was like, Angelica was like, Charlotte, you put yourself in the middle of it. Like, nobody told y'all to be cool. Like, so, because these girls came after Charlotte and Angelica was cool. So Charlotte, like, you're not about to tell me who I can be cool with just because your nigga don't know how to keep his pants. When I tell you she said that, my jaw dropped, and so did Angelica's. Angelica like, what you mean keep his pants? Like, what are you talking about? And then Charlotte was like, listen, I'm just saying, you don't need to tell me who I need to be friends with or be mad at me about who I'm being friends with. You need to be mad at your ninja. So are you going to say something, or do I have to say something? And she was like, I'm going to say something. I'm going to say something. And she was like, all right, well, I'm coming down to the clock room. Like, we all going to go together to the thing, because she wanted to see it in person. So yeah, she was like, we all about to be in the room today where we go to clock out, whatever. So Angelica was like, well, I still got a couple of things to do. You want to help me or whatever? And Charlotte was like, no, we'll meet you. And I felt bad because I went with Charlotte, but I feel like I was with Charlotte all night. So I could have stayed and helped her, but I'm rocking with who I was with. So me and Charlotte, we go walk around, and then we go to the little clock out room or whatever, the meeting room. So we in there, and Phil already in there. And when we walked in there, Phil and Lil was sitting next to each other. Like, well, not necessarily sitting next to each other. Lil was sitting down. Phil was over there standing, like, hovering her. Like, you know, over there. You could tell they was chatting, talking, whatever. So when Charlotte came in, Charlotte was extra. She said, like, she just like, So I was looking straight at Phil. Phil just rolled his, you could tell Phil did not really care for Charlotte because she was standing on business. So Phil just kind of like rolled his eyes or whatever, and he kind of walked away because I guess he kind of felt like, okay, if Charlotte coming, then Angelica coming soon. So maybe like 10, 15 minutes later, Angelica comes in the room. Angelica act like she was busy now. Like she had to go over to Dee and da-da-da. So I know that I'm low-key waiting for Angelica because we typically, every day that I have worked, we walk to the train station together now. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm going to wait to clock out. I'll clock out last so I can get as many minutes on the clock as I can. So that's why I think Charlotte used to leave early because Charlotte was irritated. Charlotte was irritated that she didn't just walk in and say something to Phil. So Phil is about to clock out. Like, let's say it's 15 of us. It's only 3 people sitting at the clock out. Let's say it's 3 people sitting at the clock out. So now Phil walks over to clock out. Lil gone. Susie gone. So Phil walks over to clock out. And Angelica's still acting like she doing work or whatever. When I tell you Charlotte walks up the field, and I don't know what she said because I was still waiting. Not right by the clock out. Because, like, the way it was like 2 rooms, but it had like a divide. It was a glass in between it, but it was like a door. So, like, you could hear sometimes, but the people would have to be loud. So, right here is where we have our meetings. Right here is where we clock in. So, they go over there. I seen Phil walk over there, and I seen Charlotte, like, just listen. And she walked over there to Phil. I don't know what was said, but all I know is next thing I know, I heard Angelica's name. She was like, Angelica, come here, Angelica. So y'all gonna have to tune in next week to see what they was talking about because it was weird. It was weird, and it just continued to get weird after that. But y'all, the way that I know is itching, I need to go to the doctors. No, but for real. I need to figure out why it's itching like this. And I don't know how long this video is, but hopefully it's about an hour. But yeah, y'all, it went down because Charlotte was acting like Phil was her man. And tell me now, is Charlotte wrong? Because I feel like Charlotte is wrong. Like me being 32, like at the end of the day, like if I'm being dumb for a ninja, let me be dumb. Now, you can opt out to me talking to you about this ninja, but for you to insert yourself so deeply to where you're talking to the ninja and then calling me over like I'm the one that's cheating with your man or something, like, I don't know. That was a little weird. But it turned up. It definitely got things shaking because Phil was having his way. Phil let him tell it like he had Lil not worried and he had Charlotte bamboozled. I mean, not Charlotte, he had Angelica bamboozled, but Charlotte, she put some seasoning in the pot. It all came together. And it was crazy. So yeah, y'all, this is part 1 of how my manager almost got beat up. Now, when I say manager, I'm actually not talking about Dee. I'm talking about Angelica. And you already know. You already know why she almost got beat up. But we're going to get further into the details when we get part 2. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.